Hey, welcome to iFlip for Math Mathcast, lesson 10-3, add fractions with unlike denominators. I'm Mrs. Gooding, and our quote tonight is by Galileo. He said, "If I were again beginning my studies, I would follow the advice of Plato and start with mathematics." Plato was a very famous philosopher, and Galileo was right to start with mathematics. You're starting with mathematics by learning all of your learning targets and your power standards this year. It's going to get you off to a great beginning in your mathematical or scientific career. Our learning goal tonight is to use math strategies to add fractions that have different denominators. Our individual lesson learning goals are to use the make-a-cake strategy to convert unlike denominators to like denominators. That means different denominators to the same denominators. This will create equivalent fractions that can be added. We're also going to convert improper fractions to mixed numbers when needed, and we're going to simplify when needed. We have one vocabulary term tonight. It's least common denominator, and it's the exact same thing as the LCM, or the least common multiple. The only difference is this is when we actually put it in denominator form. So before, we took two numbers and we knew they were denominators, but we didn't write them as denominators. Tonight, we're writing them as denominators. So the LCD and the LCM are the same thing, and you find them both by, that's right, making a cake. Here's our first example, 3/4 plus 7/10. Let's go ahead and work that on the bamboo tablet. So I wanted to remind you that when we write fraction problems horizontally, they can also be written vertically, and I think it's better to write the fractions vertically. When we're adding different denominators or subtracting different denominators, I prefer that you write the entire problem vertically or up and down because, well, you'll see why. We have different denominators here, 3/4 plus 7/10. We have the denominator of 4 and the denominator of 10. And we can't add pieces that are different sizes and get an accurate answer. So I'm going to use the make a cake strategy and write the 4, 10, because 4/10 is not a fraction, it's the denominator 4 and the separate denominator 10. So we'll separate them with a comma. And we'll write those in the bottom layer of our cake and then ask ourselves what number will divide evenly into both 4 and 10. And that number is 2, because they're both even numbers. 2 goes into 4 2 times, and 2 goes into 10 5 times. Next layer. What number divides evenly into both 2 and 5? And the only number is 1. 1 goes into 2 2 times. 1 goes into 5 5 times. Remember, when you repeat that set of numbers a second time and you have a 1 at the top layer of your cake, you're done. And now, because I'm trying to find my LCM or LCD, I'm going to multiply all the numbers in the L. See that L there? If you turn your head sideways. And that will give me my LCM or my LCD. 2 times 1 is 2, 2 times 2 is 4, and 4 times 5 is 20. So my new common denominator is going to be 20. So I'm going to write this because I'm going to change both of those fractions to fractions that have denominators of 20. And then all I have to do is generate equivalent fractions. So I ask myself, what do I do to this 4 to get to 20, multiplying or dividing? And I know I'm multiplying because 20 is greater than 4. And 4 times what is 20? That's right, 4 times 5 is 20. So whatever I do to my denominator, I have to do to my numerator. 3 times 5 is 15. These are equivalent fractions, but they will have the same denominator. So what do I do to 10 to get 20? I'm going to multiply because 20 is greater. And 10 times 2 is 20. So 7 times 2 is 14. Now I can add these just the way I would add two fractions that have the same denominators. So my denominator is going to stay the same, 20, and I'm going to add 15 and 14. I can do this in my head, or I can just add 5 plus 4 is 9, and 1 plus 1 is 2. Now I did this one on purpose because 29/20, remember that? That's an improper fraction. A fraction, the numerator has to be smaller to be a true fraction than the denominator, and it's not. So I'm going to use this as a division problem. 29, there's my division symbol, 29 divided by 20. So I'm going to come over here again, and 29 divided by 20. 20 goes into 29 one time. 1 times 20 is 20. 9 minus 0 is 9, and 2 minus 2 is 0. I have nothing else to bring down, so this is my remainder. And remember, when we're converting to a mixed number from an improper fraction, the remainder is our new numerator, and our denominator stays the same. It just comes right around here and stays the same. So 1 and 9/20. 1 and 9/20. Now, I can't simplify 9/20 because there isn't any number that will divide evenly into both 9 and 20. So I don't even need to try. This is my final answer. 1 and 9/20. It's a lot of work, but it's not hard work. It's just putting together all the skills we've learned so far. Let's do some practice problems. This whole video I'm singing Galileo, Galileo in my head. You probably know that song too. Number 1, 2 6 plus 3 8 equals. Go ahead and use the strategies I just showed you in the example. Hopefully you wrote those down. If you didn't, go back and re-watch it and rewrite them down. And then pause it and push play when you're ready. Did you write 17/24? Let's see how we did that. So I have 2 6 plus 3 8 written vertically. And I can see that my denominators are different, so I'm going to find the LCM or the LCD by making a cake. So I'll put both the 6 and the 8 in the bottom of my cake. And what number divides evenly into both 6 and 8? 2. 2 goes into 6 3 times. 2 goes into 8 4 times. Second layer. What number divides evenly into both 3 and 4? That's right, just 1. 1 goes into 3 3 times. 1 goes into 4 4 times. We've repeated those numbers, so we're ready to make our L and multiply all around the L. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 3 is 6. 6 times 4 is 24. So 24 is going to be our new common denominator. So we have to ask ourselves, what do we do to 6 to get to 24? We know we multiply because 24 is greater. 6 times what is 24? 6 times 4 is 24. Whatever we do to the denominator, we have to do to the numerator. 2 times 4 is 8. Now we'll do this one. 8 times 3 is 24. So 3 times 3 is 9. So our denominator is going to stay the same, and we add our numerators, 8 plus 9. And I always go over there and touch the symbol because I don't want to accidentally do the wrong operation. 8 plus 9 is 17. I know I can't simplify that because there is no number that will divide evenly into 17 and 24 other than 1. So 17/24 is our final answer. Number 3. 5 6 plus 3/4 equals. Go ahead and use our strategies. Pause it and push play when you're ready. Did you write 1 and 7/12? I wrote the word and out in between it because I didn't want you to think that was 17/12. That's 1 and 7/12, and you don't really have to write that word and there. Let's check out how we did that. So here's the problem vertically, 5 6 plus 3/4. So let's go ahead and find our LCM, or our new common denominator. We're going to do that by making a cake. We'll put both 4 and 6, our two denominators, inside the bottom layer of the cake and ask ourselves what number will divide evenly into 4 and 6. That would be 2. 2 goes into 4 2 times. 2 goes into 6 3 times. Layer number 2. What number goes evenly into both 2 and 3? That would be 1. 1 goes into 2 2 times. 1 goes into 3 3 times. And since we've repeated that set of numbers, we're ready to make our L and multiply all the way around the L. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. And 4 times 3 is 12. So 12 is going to be our new least common denominator. If we use the least common denominator, or the least common multiple, instead of just multiplying 4 times 6, which also would give us a common denominator of 24, we won't have to simplify, or we're more likely to not have to simplify. So let's do this top one first. What do we do to 6 to get 12? Well, we multiply by 2. 6 times 2 is 12, so 5 times 2 is 10. That's our equivalent fraction. And what do we do to 4 to get 12? 4 times 3 is 12, so 3 times 3 equals 9. And we are ready. I kind of do a double line when I'm adding these because I don't want to get all my fraction lines mixed up with my equal sign, or my equal line. It does kind of look like an equal symbol. Our denominator is going to be 12. And now we add our numerators. 10 plus 9 is 19. Whoa, what's wrong with that? That's right, it's an improper fraction. So we read it 19 divided by 12. We'll write our 19 divided by 12. 12 goes into 19 one times. 12 times 1 is 12. 9 minus 2 is 7. 1 minus 1 is 0. So we have a whole number of 1, a remainder of 7, which is our new numerator, and our denominator stays the same. It's also our divisor. So we'll write 1 and 7/12. And that is our final answer. Now, even in a mixed number, we might have to simplify our fraction, but in this case we don't because we went with the least common multiple. But if not, you can always simplify this by making a cake and looking for the bride and groom on top, and then make sure you add your 1 to that number. So 1 and whatever your simplified fraction would be. In this case, we don't simplify. It's 1 and 7/12. We're going to practice some word problems. Fractions are a lot of times used as word problems, so we want to be very familiar with the key words that are going to tell us what to do. If Larissa ate 1/3 of the cake on Tuesday and 1/6 of the cake on Wednesday, how much of the cake did she eat altogether? Look for those key terms that tell us what operation to use. Pause and push play when you're ready. Did you write, and I hope you wrote a complete sentence, Larissa ate 1/2 of the cake? Let's see how we did that. So I wrote our problem vertically. All together was a great clue that told us to add, so I used my addition symbol, 1/3 plus 1/6. And my denominators are different, so I'm going to make a cake. To find my LCM, or my LCD, and I'll put both the 3 and the 6 inside the cake. What number will divide evenly into both 3 and 6? Well, 3 will. 2 won't, because 3 isn't an even number. 3 goes into 3 one time. 3 goes into 6 2 times. What number divides evenly into both 1 and 2? Just 1. 1 goes into 1 one time. 1 goes into 2 2 times. Now I've repeated my set of numbers, so I'm ready to make my L and multiply all the way around. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 2 is 6. Look at that. Our common denominator is actually one of the denominators that we started out with. So let's see. What do I do to this 3 to get 6? I multiply because my 6 is greater. And I'm going to multiply times 2. 3 times 2 is 6, and 1 times 2 equals 2. Now I'll do this. What do I do to this 6 to get 6? And I'm going to multiply by 1. 6 times 1 is 6, so 1 times 1 is 1. That's right, 1/6 equivalent fraction with a denominator of 6 has to stay the same, 1/6. Now I'm ready to add. My denominator stays the same, then I add my numerators. 2 plus 1 is 3. Now, 3/6, when we did our cake over here, 3 and 6 do have a number that will divide evenly into both of them, 3. Now this is cool because I don't have to make another cake. I can just turn this into the fraction 3/6, the fraction 1/2. And now, remember to simplify, we're looking for the bride and groom on top. So with the same exact cake, I know that 3/6 simplified is 1/2, 1/2, or 1/2. And that is really cool. There's several ways to look at a cake. I didn't have to make a new cake to figure that out. It's time to challenge yourself. Mr. Randolph ordered 2 pizzas. Mrs. Gooding ate 1.5 of the pizzas, while Mr. Northcraft ate 2/8 of the pizzas. Did Mr. Randolph order enough pizza? Was there any pizza left over? How much? Show your work and explain your answer in your flip journal. Be ready to go over your answer tomorrow in class. Finishing up. Don't go ahead and review your learning goals. If you have any questions, write them down. Write down if you're at a level 1 in your learning, a level 2, or a level 3. And phenomenal fractions, you have completed lesson 10-3, add fractions with unlike denominators. I can't wait to see you tomorrow.